the one, the only, the devastatingly handsome Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Sean. Sorry, got you up now. How are you?
I'm good. If you hear like a beep once in a while, don't take it personal. I got this new vehicle from my dealership, and it keeps telling me the service restraint system needs repair, yet it says check it, and I don't know what button to push to stop this crap. So if you hear a little beep in the background, it's not for any other reason other than I'm going to shove my fist through this dashboard, but other than that, everything's cool. So,
imagine
good to be on with you guys. I'm doing great.
Imagine being a truck thinking you could restrain Sean Salisbury.
Yeah, I got your restraints right here.
Hey, congratulations to your Lakers. I got to say
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Championship, it's nice.
Yeah.
It was a fun run. I mean, different than most. Sometimes it was crazy during the day yesterday. We're watching, thinking about baseball and all the football that's going on. So, oh, that's right. The Lakers play tonight with a chance to clinch and win the title. So, thank you, and congratulations to them and Jeannie Buss, who's been a long-time friend, and I'm sure this meant a lot to her as well. So, it's been a wild year, but whenever you got LeBron and Anthony Davis on the same team, it's a good place to start. So, thank you.
And, Sean, memory serves me correct. You're a lifelong Laker fan, correct?
Yep, forever.
So,
yep.
Can I just point out, and I mean no disrespect, I truly do, which of course means I'm going to say disrespectful things now, but what you just said, which was, yeah, with all the football going on and everything happening, the Lakers could win a champion. You're a lifelong Laker fan, and yet you were thinking, oh, well, football and all that. Oh yeah, the Lakers. Whereas, like in Sacramento, the world, like. The world would shut down and everyone, there would be nothing else. And this morning, I wouldn't be here. Nobody would work today because of the collective hangover from the
Right.
I mean, and I don't say that disrespectfully. I say that to illustrate the fact that for Laker fan, it's wash, rinse, repeat. It's like the Olympics or an election year. Every few years, hey, there's a title.
Yep. Yeah, Dave, it sounds so arrogant. It's a great point by you. And I almost embarrassed to admit this because, in Houston, in Sacramento, you want to talk about, the Kings and the Rockets, but, the Astros are in, and we got to cover the Texans since Bill O'Brien's fired. And, me, I watch all the games, and I'll go back and watch tape and watch them over. And so I'm rolling through my day yesterday, and early in the day, I knew the Lakers played last night. And I usually I'll go back, because I taped it anyway, just to, if I want to see a celebration, what it was like sometimes if you're going to miss it. So I'm rolling through the day, and the Seahawks game comes on, and I'm watching the Astros play against Tampa, and rolling through, and it was just all of it. And do you realize it's halftime? And I hadn't watched an ounce of the game. Forgot it was on. And I told that to my audience this morning, and I don't know if it's and you know me as a huge basketball fan.
Yeah.
I've been a lifelong Laker fan. I don't know if it's because of 2020. I don't know if it's because of the bubble. I don't know if it's because you're spoiled. Like people say that's about NFC. When we're talking about the Trojans, if you're spoiled and arrogant, you think, it's just the Lakers, ho-hum, which I never take. I know how hard it is to win those because I never won one as I did in a Grey Cup and an NFL player. And I mean, that's even with LeBron James. It's tough. Those are tough to come by. And so I can't tell you right now what happened in the first half, the first three quarters of the basketball game. I literally, for an NBA Finals game, forgot yesterday it was on. Now, I'll go back and watch to see it, but I forgot it was on. And here I am watching a regular season game of a football team, of two teams, meaning the Seahawks and the Vikings, that, Seahawks are great, and Russell pulling it off. And it became an oh-by-the-way moment, which is so horrible, yet 2020's done that to a lot of us. So I have to go back and watch. So I would have to get insight on what happened, how LeBron got to his triple-double and the rest of it. That's how crazy it was. And you're exactly right, how the difference in perspective that it means to, now in L.A. it means different, but I think there's a lot of fans that are, that's right, and I happen to be one of them, and I'm a Laker and a diehard basketball fan. Crazy.
Amen.
Sean Salisbury joining us this morning. Sean, let's transition over to football, and what a difference a year makes when you're the San Francisco 49ers. Given the rash of injuries, the issues on the offensive line, is this team done for this year?
I don't ever like to call anybody done after 5 games, but if we just judge by the way they're playing, they got trouble. And they were running the ball, and Mostert's so good, and getting him back healthy. The problem is you got down so quickly, Kyle Shanahan had no choice but to get out of his game plan. And when you get out of your game plan and Jimmy Garoppolo whether it's for lack of confidence, whether it's for he wasn't 100% with his ankle, whether Jimmy's still suffering from the original injury, even though he played a full season last year when he missed his season, or whether he's suffering from a poor fourth quarter. There's a lot, I don't know, or from the fact that defensively they don't have a lot of their best players are hurt, and a lot of guys, Debo came back yesterday after being sick with whatever the flu or an illness this week to get Mostert back. I don't know. I can tell you this, I've been a Garoppolo fan, I've told you guys this, but this is an important season for him. You know who he's playing like right now? You know what it reminds me of?
Huh.
It reminds me of when Derek Carr came back the year after he was hurt. That a little indecisive, ball was floating. Now, if he can't set his foot, then he shouldn't have been in uniform and played anyway yesterday. And it's never a good thing when your head coach has to go from Jimmy to Mullins to Beathard, back to Jimmy, back to Beathard, put Mullins on the bench. You know, this is something you don't want when you got a franchise quarterback. So, regardless of the way it was, I'm not going to say they're done, but the way the Seahawks are playing, the way Sean McVay has the Rams going, Arizona's not going away, and with the injuries on defense, they were punked defensively. They were out physical. Fitzpatrick threw it all over the lot. They won't go away. I don't think they're a playoff team, judging from what I've seen right now with the injuries, and Jimmy's going to have to play better, or they're in trouble, because then you'll just say, stop Mostert, you win. He's got to play better, and there's going to be a lot of talk of validation of this contract, and hey, that's why you get paid the big money. You're going to have to deal with it. They're not very good right now.
Sean Salisbury joining us. And Sean, there's just some times when it's so perfect to have you on, because there's people that can analyze football out there, but to talk to somebody who not only played the game, played under center, overcame injuries. I want to transfer real quick to Alex Smith. Best moment of the weekend, and I'm watching him come in and the standing ovation from his family. And then I saw Aaron Donald get close to him a few times, and I found myself thinking, okay, that was a great end to the Disney movie. Now, please get Alex off the field and wrap him in bubble wrap, and please let him retire. And I really was scared for anybody getting close to him or his leg. Now, I'm guessing Alex Smith would not want any part of what I'm saying, but you got to think, having him out there, it's such an amazing story, but I can't imagine we're ever going to watch him play and not think, oh my God, please nobody tackle him from behind.
Yeah, the human nature is to don't think what you think. I think all of us cringed every time somebody got close because we were worried about Alex Smith. But guess what Alex Smith would have never done had he have felt like that? Yep. He'd have never made the comeback.
Yep.
You start to think when the word amputation came up during this, 15-plus surgeries, whatever it was, just horrendous, awful, hard to fathom. And if you ever were questioning Alex Smith's toughness, don't. Anybody that's out there, it won't even just be the moment of yesterday. We might as well just give him comeback player of the year. It'll be, for me, the feel-good moment of the year, regardless of if my Raiders win the Super Bowl. It'll be the feel-good because I haven't had a compound fracture with what Dak Prescott went through, having shredded my knee, never to the point of where you wonder if you're going to be able to either walk or lose a limb. What Alex Smith did to get back, we should have showed a picture. What you saw, the family, the standing ovation. I just wish, guys, his kids are...
Come back, Sean. Come back.
Nope, he's gone. Let me get him back.
New truck. New truck cut him off. Sean was building up momentum too. He's in that new truck, driving on I-something in Houston, probably on his way home or to a power meeting somewhere so he can endorse something barbecue, because that's what we associate with Texas. He was ramping up to a point about Alex Smith. He was ramping up to a point about Alex Smith, and the damn new truck restrained him. But guess what? You cannot keep a good man down. Sean Salisbury's back.
Sorry. Wouldn't you know? Of course, in the middle of your passionate talk, the phone cuts out. Thank you. I was just saying, his kids aren't going to remember his 10th touchdown pass. What they are going to remember is how tough an example, how tough their dad was. So I don't care if he plays another down, but I'm with you. It scares you. But that's exactly why he's who he is, because he's overcome what most wouldn't even consider trying to. and he's probably with the Kyle Allen's hit today. He's probably going to start this week. So it's an amazing story. It's a feel-good story, but also it's human nature to think, oh, gosh, what you saw with Dak Prescott, what you see with Alex Smith overcoming it. It's phenomenal. I love the guy, and I root for him beyond belief. And after seeing what I saw him take the field, I only wish that 80,000 people could have been in the stadium and his family could have seen. It would have been a 5-minute standing ovation. And whether it was on the road or at home, I just think it's a phenomenal story, and one that every time anybody gets near him, it's going to be like, please be careful. But you know what? That's what makes him special, because one of the reasons, should I say, is because this is what he wanted. Whether it's what we want for him, it's what he wanted, and he deserves the right to go out, because most of us are forced off the field because somebody doesn't want us or an injury. Alex Smith made a comeback that most people wouldn't have even attempted. Good for him.
Sean Salisbury joining us this morning. Sean, over in Dallas, an absolute nasty, gruesome, just heartbreaking injury to Dak Prescott yesterday. And, of course, he's doing this he's franchise tendered. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the season, so he has that to think about. And then you have the Cowboys at 2-3, or the class of the NFC East, I guess. Do you see this team being able to win the division with Andy Dalton behind center?
I do. I mean, the Giants aren't going to win it. The Washington teams up and down, they're not going to win it. The Philadelphia Eagles, like I said, they're a team you don't know what you're getting week to week from them. They're beat up on the offensive line, and Wentz is making throws and doing stuff that sometimes he played pretty decent yesterday at times to keep him in the game, but you don't know what you're getting out of them. The most consistent offense will be the Cowboys because they got star power. Now, defensively, they got a pass rush, but they're not very good there either. So they have got to pick it up. But, yeah, they could probably win the division at 8 wins. And when we say we got to tread lightly when we say the class of the NFC East, because right now it is a putrid division. But, Dak was headed for monumental numbers in a contract year. And for me, it's not just the contract, the fact that he doesn't have a long-term deal with guaranteed money. It was just having been through, not on my ankle, but having been through an injury of a compound fracture, and then thinking about that, I think it was a combination of tears of, oh my gosh, he's in shock. Because you are in shock when you see your bone out of your skin. I got news for you. And it does hurt. That's one. Yeah. 2 is that he's not got a quarterback and he's been so durable. And 3 is, and the other side is, there's about $160 to $200 million on the table that I haven't been signed long-term. And it does affect you, yes. But my whole thing was about and he's been through a brother committing suicide. He went through depression. It's been a rough year for him, too. So I'm more concerned about all the health stuff. He's going to get paid at some point because he's going to recover from this. And he's a hell of a football player on a team that doesn't have any defense. And I think the Cowboys can win the East, and I think they'll probably be the favorite, even with Andy Dalton, who's got playoff experience. And what a smart signing by them this offseason. And he now has an opportunity to revitalize his career and get another contract with this one. But, yeah, Prescott, he'll recover, and he'll rehab, and he'll be fine. He's been so durable. But I felt sickened for him in so many ways yesterday, and I just hope he gets back because he is a really good player. And if you put him on a good team and continue to do this, he's good enough to be, he's proven that he's a franchise quarterback in my mind. I'm a big Prescott fan. I was gut-wrenched and sick for him yesterday.
Same here, Sean. As Sean Salisbury joins us. And I said something earlier. You're a lot closer to the situation. I could be way off, and I know you'll tell me if I am. The question was, does this, how bad does this hurt his contract negotiations? There's so many things you can say about Jerry Jones negative, and I got plenty. I'm sure you do too. My instinct tells me this is a Jerry Jones opening where he's going to come out and it's going to be one of those, Dak Prescott is a Cowboy, we take care of our own, there's no way we're going to leave him in the lurch. And I don't know if that means a new deal. I don't know if that means another franchise tender. I know Jerry's a good businessman, but am I wrong in thinking that this seems like one of those Jerry Jones, I'm going to take care of our own and send a message type things?
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the Cowboys, the way Dak was playing, guys, the numbers were going to be through the roof, monumental. He was headed for one of those seasons, even though their defense wasn't. And I know Jerry's about winning championships, but yes, and Jerry is when it's saying, hey, Dallas Cowboys. He loves his Dallas Cowboys, and he loves that pride of taking care of his guys. I'm not worried about now whether they can come to an agreement for the type of money Dak's going to want, even coming out of an injury. I don't know. But when it comes to and it's not going to end Dak's career. He's going to be out of surgery if he gets to go. He's going to rehab it. He's going to be fine. It's not like He's tore his Achilles 8 times, and he has a compound fracture. Is serious. It's not his 8th knee surgery. I mean, he's going to be fine. So you got to look at, well, what's the long-term ramifications of this injury, and how's it going to affect our franchise? And, well, do we want Dak at $42 million a year? Well, then you also got to look around and say, well, what are our options? Do we let him walk as a free agent? Who's going to replace him? Andy Dalton's not Dak Prescott. So I'm with you. I think it's a combination. They're going to need him, and they're going to have to pay him, injury or not, because, well, those guys just aren't the franchise quarterbacks, just don't happen. You're not going to get Trevor Lawrence. So, yes, and Jameis Winston's not better than Dak Prescott if he becomes available from the Saints. So, yeah, you're going to pay Prescott, and you're right, Dave, 100%. Jerry takes great pride in making sure people know that I run the Dallas Cowboys and I'm loyal to my guys. And I would think that as good a teammate and as good a person and as good a player Dak Prescott's been, and as durable as he's been other than this injury, Dak Prescott will be making $40+ million a year. And I would assume if the Cowboys are smart, it'll be with them. If not, somebody's going to get themselves a hell of a player at a very expensive price.
Follow Sean Salisbury on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Listen to his award-winning radio program in Houston and enjoy the battle as Sean's new truck tries to restrain him unsuccessfully.
Have you noticed? You haven't heard it?
No, because you scared it.
I saw, I mugged it, and I kicked its ass, so here we are.
Yep.
It's no problems now.
Sean Salisbury 1, new truck 0. Dominant performance, Sean. Take care, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. You guys have a good one.